Okay.
Hi, everybody. I am so glad that you can join us with this big open house. My name is Eunice Chan, and I've been with Discovery Toy for 38 years. And my background is in occupational therapy and special education. So I fell in love with the product because these are the things that I do use for students I serve. So today, Leslie has asked me to share with you some of the things. How do we cope with the stay at home, social distance? How can we use these toys perhaps to help them? And some general ideas. So I will just give you some brief knowledge that I have so that you might be able to take and to share with your clients, your customers. Okay? And the one in particular I'm going to share with you is about when we are in an isolated situation, our senses are not being challenged, not being fulfilled. And we all know that we have many senses. One of them is sight. We see everything. In this world, United States, we say, see you later. Everything is see, see, see. And the next one is hearing. We hear things, and that's kind of a help us to locate where things are at and listen or choose not to listen. Then we also have the touch. You don't see it, you still can store things from your purse. Oh yeah, this is my pen, here's my toothbrush, here's my something, lipsticks. Then we have the tactile sense that somebody touch you too closely, especially right now we have the 6 feet distance, but if they're too close to you, then you feel the touch. However, these are common senses, but there are two other senses in our therapy we use a lot, and people sort of take it for granted. One of them is called and I'm sorry, we have the taste as well. Okay, one is called vestibular. Vestibular is a sense of related to balance. And it is a sense to tell you whether you are moving or the room around you is moving. So if we really rely on this sense for our balance so that we don't fall down, right? And then the other sense people do not normally address or mention is proprioception. This means it's a sense from our joints. This tells you whether you're sitting down or you're laying down with your eyes closed. You don't rely on your vision, you rely on your senses, joint senses, to know where are you in space. So you can see these two are very, very important. They're not well known, but really, really important. If the senses of proprioception is not really good, you're gonna see kids like falling off their chair, not really intentionally, but they just don't have the good sense, and then they just fall off. And then the teacher think, oh, they're goofing off. Or when you have a vestibular problem, your balance, they tend to be awkward kids. They just fall a lot. So those are really very common to see. Okay, so I thought I would address how these are the two senses probably very compromised during this coronavirus, because we are staying home, we're not having to do with lot with other children, we don't have to do as much rough play. So I was gonna just give you some ideas what we can do to supplement or to increase these senses that we normally have, and to enrich those so that the children in our lives or even ourselves can be more uh, sufficient in these senses. Okay, one of the things that because these two senses are so interconnected, it will be very difficult for me to separate each one of them. So I'm going to put the two together, and then basically those two senses are very important for our alertness and for our mindfulness, so that we can concentrate and do things and not get agitated. Okay, so we have most, if you can think of it, what's going to help these two senses. One is moving. You have to move. The others, you have to do joint sensations. That means you have to have stand up or march in place, or you have to do push-ups, skipping, and you can do even push-ups on the floor, push-up in the chair. Like this is easy to push. For older kids, these are wonderful to push up. So that gives the movement and then the joint sensation. And also, if you can go outside to walk, that's wonderful, or run around the space. Or if you have jumping is another good way. You can just jump in space or do jumping jacks. Those are all really, really great ideas. For little ones, I encourage a lot of rolling and crawling, because if they do that, that activates the joint sensations, movement, and balance. Okay, so if we can, but the only thing is when you do those activities are fun once a while, but you get boring. So how do we incorporate some of the discovery toys, or also to incorporate some educational values when we do this? So I will share with you some of the things from the very young to the probably old and in between. All right. For the very little ones, you can see our favorite Gogo caterpillar. You can do on the floor. And I'll do it here so you can see. Just go over there and then let the little ones to go either chase it or either go crawl over there, or you can have them go be an animal walks. They can walk like they can roll like a ball, or they can go walk like a little crab to go get it, or for that matter, you can do any objects there so that they and just entice the baby or the young children to go and catch it. And that would be a really fun one. Another one, when you jump, you can jump it. And then after you jump it, you can incorporate math by measuring how far they jumped. And then you can put down on a piece of paper and add if the child is able, and then otherwise compare which one is longer. You jump farther this time or less far this time. Okay, so these are a lot of things that we can do with this. Another thing that I really like with the joint sensation with little kids is this ball, the ball. When they are hitting it, they're really activating the joint sensation. And also, you can look at the sides and see how fast they can do, how many they did it. That'd be great. Okay. Another fun thing with this is we need to do some heavy work. That is a proprioception. Heavy work. When we are well, everybody hugs everybody. Your friends hug you, everybody hugs you. But when the coronavirus is going, it's hard to hug all the time. So we have this panda bear. You can hug the panda bear, and that is a hugging. Also, I often make the kids lay down on the floor. You just put a big cushion on them, and you can just pat them or put a ball over them. And so they feel the pressure, but feels good because that's a deep sensation. You encourage the proprioceptive input in these children. You can even roll in a blanket, and that is also a fun thing to do, and unroll yourself or walk like a mummy, and that's also great for proprioception. Okay. Now, if you have probably you have a ball laying around. This is one of my favorite one that the kids can really bounce and when they bounce, if they can do spelling or if they can do math facts, this is a great fun time with the vestibular and also the proprioceptive input all together and give them really alert systems. My goddaughter always says, my son cannot stand still, cannot sit still to do his homework. And I said, well, why don't you give him 5 minutes, run around, go upstairs, crawling on their hands, wheelbarrow up and down. But she said, that's wasting of time. I said, try it, because my students' parents tells me after they do that, they do their homework faster than ever. So if you have that kind of problem, try it to see if it works, okay? Then we also have Discovery Tour, also have some very fun things that is flip-flop faces where you can do throwing, because throwing is another joint sensation and with the movement. So you can throw to aim and to see if you can get them okay. So you can do throwing the beanbag and flip it over, or count how many you were able to do. So these are a great thing to adapt. I really like also for this particular one for little kids, I will put this on the floor. Pretend that's a little child. We step on to balance. And that is a fun one to do. Okay, I will do that, but I don't know if you see me. So you can do this, okay? The little kids is easier to do. Then over here, I have more things. I have a tablecloth. I just wrote alphabets to it. And the key is I want the children to be able to match. They need to take a ABC from ABC. From ABC, they can find a letter. So they got a K. And then we need to go jump or hop over to the K. So the K is right here, so I can just jump right here. Or if it's A, you have to go jump, jump, jump. So that incorporates some learning, spelling of the names, spelling of words that will help the children to be active with vestibular, proprioception, and also learning. Now, there's Jillian's other ideas, but I'm sure some of the kids, older kids, love to lift weights. And these are wonderful. But the little kids, you say, well, I do not have weights at home. I'm surely you have some canned goods at home. For older kids, you can put, they can handle the weight. But with the little ones, you can use this, and then smaller can, or even smaller can. So they're doing workouts with the music. So that will help them with the proprioceptive. If you say, I don't have canned goods, well, surely you have some books. So you can have them lift some books with them. And, oh, some of the books are pretty heavy. And your college books, even if you don't have the little ones, you just find some books, they can do that as well, okay? And I love to use number whiz, that where there's the little 12 of telling you, you can see if you can, what number you get. And you can use that, how many times you're gonna jump, how many times you have to do certain things that incorporates math skills, and then they can add up and do all sorts of fun things to just give a different twist, okay? And for that, for the older kids, instead of the fishing game, we can use WizKids to use the same alphabet, but make it a little harder. They have to collect certain numbers, and they have to do some spelling, make a words out of it, or make a sentence with starting with that word, or that letter ends that word. So there's just many things. It's this, your imagination is the limit. You can incorporate this. Also, the word cube, same idea. You can, if they had enough that, they can, each time they do certain things, they can earn the piece, and then they can do the games afterwards. So I hope that this give you some ideas. And oh, forgot one thing. We have the candy ball. That's another wonderful squeeze activity. And of course you can throw, and you can throw, I just use the ice cream bucket or any bucket you have, you can throw them in. Also, you can do bowling, because I have some just water bottles put on the floor. If you want to make it really hard, then you put lots of water in. If you don't want to make it really hard for them, then you put little water or no water, so they can just go throw it and then make it fall down. All right, so it's like a building bowling. And the weather's getting nicer, so this is a great thing. If you do have a yard, this is a great thing to have, to go out and dig some weeds out. And this is a good one to do proprioception, and when you're moving, also vestibular. Okay. Then the last one, we have zip track. And I'm sure everybody knows about zip track. But I like the zip track when keep them busy and they can do sequencing. But also it is great when you push, you have to push in. And if you think about it, these are all proprioception. They stimulate your joints. The joints you stimulated, they help you do handwriting and everything else, okay? Did you know that we can also increase proprioception by chewing gum or chewing on candies? Also, you can do blow up a balloon. So you can blow up the balloon, you can play with the balloon. So I choose this one because our Disney trip this year, the thing that we are working on. So I just hope that you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, let me know and I'll try to help you. Thanks so much. Bye.